already. So I've been scrolling down through the playlists and I was very surprised to have found that there is nothing about one of the central contextual factors named tone, and this is exactly what I want to speak of in this particular video. I hope it's going to be short, though pretty informative. So I've introduced a couple of screenshots taken from several official books from the curriculum, and take a look here. So according to one description, tone is the voice or level of feeling closely linked to the mood created in the text or oral communication. Mood, in its turn, the atmosphere, feeling created by a text or elements of a text. So what's important here? Both are really related to feelings. So tone is about the wording, particularly speaking, mainly about wording. I would say that tone is words that convey or build up emotional background or just emotions in the text or speech. This is pretty much the same wording, I think. And when we speak about tone, no doubt that it's related to other contextual factors, so you can check for yourself in one or in many even videos before in the first unit playlist that I would say, particularly speaking, tone is related to audience, because we need to think about the people who we're writing to or speaking to. Also, tone is, I would say, defined by the mode, which is the conventions and the form and genre of how we should speak and write. And the last but not least, I would say that tone is also related or defined by a discourse. In a nutshell, it is context altogether. So, without any words added to these contextual factors, tone is related to, I would just say that tone, let's just give a couple of adjectives. I haven't done that beforehand, so I think it's good enough. So, tone can be, say, emotional, right? Tone can be formal or informal, which is related to both mode and discourse. So tone, say, can be friendly, right? Tone can also be light-hearted. Tone can be, cold, so on and so forth. So when we speak about the emotions, we can easily refer to the tone. Another addition, by the way, is that there's another term excuse me, there's another term related to it, which is voice. We're not speaking about voice, but in short, voice is related to the author, so it's usually author's voice. I can take a look at it yourself, maybe another video on that. So now I want us to take a look at these screenshots, so taken from the book. There are some good examples here. So here, to write for a specific audience, then you need to use relevant language and references. It's also important to think about tone and effect. This will help. Look at the following two annotated examples. So what they're saying is that the tone is really related to the effect, right? So which I would even add the emotional effect, something that we've called the emotional background. So these extracts here are on plastic. The first one, just take a look at it, please. The crisis of plastic waste in our oceans has reached epic proportions. Helpless sea creatures are starving after swallowing fragments of our discarded coffee cups and microbeds from beauty products. So this is extract 1. This is extract 2. Let's also read it because there is a vivid comparison made in the book. Ocean plastics are a new crisis facing the planet. Fragments of plastic may be ingested by sea life, leading to their death. They may become entangled in the mass of plastic bags littering the seas. So, I really like the comments that are given on the sides. Here they are. So, the comment to the first one. So, the main point of this comparison, I believe, is that one evokes the emotion of our responsibility, which is extract 1. That's why we have here first person plural, which is our. Possessive pronoun implies responsibility. Then we have hopeless, starving, epic proportions, which is emotive language, suggests a request, a problem to be solved, urgency, right? That we should take immediate action in another hour here. We're not speaking about the language in use, which is the use of personal pronoun and then adjectives. I mean, in a way that we should make a comment on that. But this is already enough to spot, at least when you see some text. So let's take a look at the second example here. Ocean plastics are a new crisis facing the planet, and so on. Just read it. So they say that it's neutral phrasing, thus neutral in tone, and the effect is it removes responsibility and concern from the reader. So there is no our, right? There is no our, there is no we, there is no urgency. It's just an introduction of, whatever the problem is. Then maybe ingested the use of modal verbs with the effect that it sounds less likely, right? And the tone then becomes detached. I like a lot. Um, I like the wordings for the notes and how they are related to the language in use. This is exactly what we're doing, yeah, in our analysis and evaluation. So this is very strong here, even though these are just notes. So may, and then the last but not least here, neutral description, not emotional. So it presents the situations given, not as anyone else's fault or responsibility, this part. In the mass of plastic bags littering the seas. Well, littering the seas may be a little bit, emotional, urgent, but not as much as the first um, text that we've just seen. So here's a comment that they're giving as well for comparison. And also, if you're interested, there are 2 bullet points in here which do represent the point code comment structure, which is what is used in the text and for what purpose, also in relation to the contextual factor. So this in particular, we're going to have the contextual factor of tone and say in the language in use, we may have the pronouns, right, for the collective responsibility and use of emotive language, or we can also take modal verbs, for instance. So you can take a look here as well. In a nutshell, once again, tone is very important because not only is it related to other contextual factors, but it is also the emotional background that we're thinking of considering the listeners or the readers of our communication. Hope it's been a useful one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.